Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up a case cracked. Young and Restless just dropped a colossal clue. About Kane's would-be killer. We'd already speculated that, spoiler, killed Damien. We just had their motive wrong. Thanks to today's episode of Young and Restless, a huge missing piece to the puzzle has been slotted into place. A stunning turn of events in the aftermath of Damien's demise led to Lily pointing the finger at Kane for the murder, and Ashby, in turn, accusing Nick after the murder weapon turned up in his bathroom. Predictably, Nick went on a rage-filled rant about being framed, which caused Kane to order his minions to lock him up. Unfortunately, Sharon, who not unlike the dagger, was hidden in Nick's bathroom, got caught up in the drama and found herself locked up again for what has to be at least the third time, if not more, in the last 6 months. While Schick appears to be in dire straits, they're really not. Find out why here. It was their captivity that provided the clue to cracking the case. Whilst searching for something with which to pick the lock on the door, Sharon and Nick made a discovery: an old chest. It contained several bottles of wine, which could have set the scene for a tipsy Schick reunion, but didn't, and some old photo albums. Upon further examination, Sharon and Nick realized that the photos were from the early 1900s. The family name on the back of the photos was De Leon. Nick wondered if they're at the old Chianti De Leon winery. Presuming that Kane purchased the estate from the De Leon family, Nick and Sharon surmised that the French fam wouldn't have been happy to learn that Ashby had taken a bulldozer to the precious vineyards in order to build a mystery maze. We believe they're correct. We're also guessing that none other than our original suspect, Kane's nerdy, robotic assistant, Carter, is a member of the De Leon clan, thanks to indiscrepancies with Carter's alibi, which further makes our case. Victor and Chance were left to wonder if Kane had programmed his assistant to kill on his behalf. Our hunch is that Carter's been programmed by his kinfolk to kill Kane so that they can take back their beloved estate, remove the repugnant hedge maze, and restore the vineyards. Do you think Carter is out to get Kane? Vote. For weeks now, The Young and the Restless has had fans in a frenzy over the murder mystery surrounding Kane Ashby's brush with death. The beloved bad boy turned businessman narrowly survived an attack on his estate that left everyone asking, who would want Kane dead, and why now? Theories ran wild, suspects piled up, and Genoa City seemed poised for another long, drawn-out whodunit. But hold on tight, because the case may not be as cold as it seemed. In a jaw-dropping moment, the show just dropped a colossal clue, one so explosive, it could blow the entire investigation wide open. And with it, we may have just learned the identity of Kane's would-be killer. Or at the very least, the shadowy force behind the attempt on his life. Let's break down the evidence, examine the motives, and connect the dots that Young and Restless just laid out for us in broad daylight. If you were paying attention. Act 1. The attempt on Kane's life. Let's rewind to the scene of the crime, Chancellor Estate. The night was supposed to be just another high-powered affair, Kane celebrating a lucrative deal, Devon cautiously reconciling with his cousin, and Jill keeping a watchful eye from afar. But somewhere between the champagne toast and Kane stepping into the moonlit garden, things went terribly wrong. A shot rang out. Kane fell. At first, it wasn't clear if he'd survive. But Kane being Kane, he pulled through, battered but breathing, and with no memory of his attacker. The security footage? Wiped. The gun? Untraceable. The suspect list? Long and growing. Then came the whispers: someone wanted Kane dead, and it wasn't just business. It was personal. Act 2. Suspects galore. Let's be honest, Kane hasn't exactly made life easy for anyone in Genoa City. Devon has every reason to be furious. Their recent business dealings have been tense, and Kane's high-stakes gamble with Chancellor Winter's assets made Devon livid. Did the tension spill over into something more sinister? Billy has a long, contentious history with Kane. Could old grudges resurface? And let's not forget Billy's increasingly erratic behavior lately, the gambling, the secrets, the shady new alliance with an unknown partner. Tucker is another name that's been floated. He's back in town, always looking for leverage. Taking Kane out of the picture could serve his latest scheme. Audra has been circling the scene like a hawk. She's quick to insert herself into the investigation, but perhaps too quick. What's her real interest in Kane's downfall? And then there's Damien, the mysterious newcomer with zero background and an uncanny ability to be everywhere at once. His involvement? Still a wild card, but this week's clue just eliminated most of them, and shined a blinding spotlight on a suspect we hadn't seen coming. Act 3. The clue that changes everything. In Tuesday's episode, Young and Restless dropped what may be the biggest clue of the arc so far. While reviewing old security logs from Chancellor Estate, Chance uncovered a deleted data fragment, a time-stamped alert about a security system bypass just 30 minutes before the attack. The source of the bypass, a unique access code traced back to Jill Abbott. Cue the collective gasp. Yes, Jill, Kane's former mother-in-law, longtime confidant, and apparent protector, had the means and opportunity to enter the estate undetected. According to Chance, the code was used to disable motion detectors and camera feeds on the side of the property where Kane was shot. Was it her? Or did someone use her code? Act 4, motive, money, and betrayal. If it was Jill's code, whether by her hand or someone else's, we have to ask why. Let's revisit recent history. Jill had grown increasingly frustrated with Kane's leadership at Chancellor Winters. She expressed concern over his risky business deals and the potential damage to the company's legacy. More than once, she hinted at wanting to push him out, but quietly. Could she have hired someone to scare Kane into stepping down, only for the plan to go horribly wrong? Or did someone frame her to muddy the waters? Adding fuel to the fire is Jill's recent behavior. She's been absent since the attack, conveniently on a business trip abroad. And now, despite Kane's pleas for her support, she's stayed silent. That's not like Jill. Unless, of course, she has something to hide. Act 5, enter Dumas. Again, now here's where the mystery deepens. Jill's company recently entered into a shadowy partnership with a silent investor, one linked to none other than Aristotle Dumas. Yes, that Dumas. If Dumas had access to Chancellor's internal systems, he could have gotten Jill's code. More importantly, he could have manipulated her, using Jill as an unknowing pawn in a much bigger game. We know Dumas is building an empire of influence in Genoa City, charming Nikki, challenging Victor, and now, targeting Chancellor Winters. Could the attack on Kane be Dumas' way of sending a message, and is Jill just the first of many victims in his chess game? Act 6, the big question no one's asked. Until nowhere it is, the question that's been hiding in plain sight. Was Kane really the target? Think about it. The attack was sloppy. The shooter didn't confirm the kill. And Kane survived. What if the real target wasn't Kane, but someone else? What if the shooter missed? Let's remember, Abby was supposed to meet Kane in the garden that night. She was delayed by a phone call from Devon. What if the bullet was meant for her, and Kane was just in the wrong place at the wrong time? If Abby had been hit, the fallout for Devon, emotionally and professionally, would have been catastrophic. Chancellor Winters could have collapsed in the ensuing chaos. Who benefits from that collapse? Once again, all signs point to Dumas. Act 7. Where do we go from here? Now that this clue has come to light, the dominoes are ready to fall. Jill must be questioned. Dumas must be confronted. And Kane? He's not out of the woods yet. He's alive, but now he knows someone wants him dead. Or worse, someone's using him as a pawn in a larger scheme. Chance is closing in on the truth. Victor is circling the investigation, determined to unmask Dumas. And Nikki? She's quietly unspooling a thread that could tie Jill, Dumas, and even Claire into this tangled web. The stakes have never been higher. And with each passing episode, we get closer to the revelation that will either save Kane, or seal his fate. Final thought, the truth will out, but at what cost? This case isn't just about who pulled the trigger. It's about power, betrayal, and control of Genoa City's legacy companies. The clue about Jill's access code has cracked the mystery wide open. But as we've learned time and again, one clue always leads to 1,000 more questions. Will Jill be exposed? Is Dumas the mastermind? And who really wanted Abby, or Kane, dead? One thing is certain, in Genoa City, no secret stays buried for long, and this one? It's about to explode.